welcome. I'm Dr. Maria. For today, our topic is going to be flooding. Those of us who are living in Southeast Asia, are having the monsoon season right now, which is marked by increased humidity in the air and torrential rainfalls. So it becomes a common problem when at times there is a rise in the water level and there is overflowing of this water onto land which is normally dry. What are the common causes? The very first cause, heavy rainfalls, which may be sporadic, causing flash floods, or they may be more sustained but for a longer period of time, causing the same flooding of land. Then this can cause the river water level to rise up and overflow because of dam failures, and then there can be coastal storms in which the seawater rises up and encroaches onto the lands which are located in the coastal belt. So what happens? What are the effects of this flooding? Due to this flooding, there may be loss to life, to property, or to the infrastructure. Then there can be damage to the crops and loss of livestock, and then there can be health effects. There are different kinds of health effects that can come across with flooding. Starting sequentially would be, first of all, there may be cases of drowning. Then due to open wires and damaged electrical circuits, there may be electric shocks and electrocutions. Then there can be injuries. Then there can be the different health problems related to waterborne diseases and airborne diseases, especially due to dirty water. There can be gastroenteritis, there can be cholera, there can be hepatitis, and then there can be malaria, and there can be dengue. So in our previous video, we have already talked about what is drowning, in which there is a submersion of the nose and mouth in water or in liquid, which makes us unable to breathe, resulting in drowning. And we have discussed what are the main points. We are going to repeat right now, but for details, you can watch the other video. So what you have to do in case you get a case of drowning, first of all, we try to pull the person towards dry land. We have to check for the vitals, whether they are breathing and whether they have a heartbeat or not. And then we start giving rescue breaths, even if the land is not near. But as soon as we reach land, we have to lay down the person and give CPR and rescue breaths, the cardiopulmonary resuscitation, in which we once again revise that there are 30 compressions and then 2 rescue breaths to the adults, 15 compressions and 2 rescue breaths to the infants and the toddlers. And then either we continue the process till we get some help and first aid people arrive, or we see whether it is producing any effect or not. Then we lay the person down in recovery position and try to bring the temperature normal by covering them up in blankets or whatever is available. Next, we go on to electric shocks and electrocution. Now, during these rains, many a times when there is flooding, the electric supply lines, they are open and they enter the water and the electric current starts flowing easily, and the people get electrocuted, and this electrocution is actually fatal and brings on instant death due to muscle spasms and paralysis of the respiratory muscles, and the heart rate is affected and there is instant death. But in many a case, if you are lucky enough, when the electric current passes through one's body and then moves out quickly, leaving us in a state of electric shock. What happens in that case? In that case, we normally get very anxious, we get pale, we get clammy, and there is an increased heart rate, there is rapid breathing, and this later on leads to spasms, muscle spasms, which may at times be so intense that they can either break the bones, fracture the bones, or they can dislocate the joints. When these spasms reach the respiratory muscles, they paralyze them. Then this electrical current interferes with the beating of the heart, the electrical currents in the heart, and the beating becomes irregular, and there can be instant death. Then at times there can be burns, which may just be external at the point wherever the electricity has entered the body, and there may be internal burns also. So what do we do in all these cases? Well, there are even cases in which the person has survived but the smaller capillaries, they have been damaged by the passage of this electrical current, which can later on result in eye cataracts, kidney problems, and other damage, generalized damage to the muscular tissue throughout the body. So what do we do in these electrocution cases? First of all, we need to take general measures, in which if we know that we are living in low-lying areas, we need to put some barriers at points from where the water can enter the house. Then we must check the earthing of the house, in which the electrical equipments, we have to check if there is any loose circuit, there is open circuit, or the earthing is improper, which needs to be maintained before the season starts, the flooding season or the rainy season starts. Then we must keep supplies in the house, we must keep some torches and some food items which are dry. All these things have to be there. What do we do as per the health problems? You find a case of electric shock. What are you going to do? First of all, we have to call for help, and we need to inform them that there is an emergency and they need to come over right away. Next, we have to turn off the source of the electrical supply if it is possible. Third, we have to take the precaution never to touch a person who is already exposed to an electric current. Do not touch at all. We must wear rubber boots or rubber slippers and use some wooden sticks, broomsticks, wooden chairs, stack of newspapers, something that does not conduct electricity, and try to separate that person from the source from where he got electrocuted. Then we lay down the person. We have to raise the legs of the person, the head and the abdomen area, the abdominal area, the upper body can remain flat. We have to check the vitals, if the person is breathing or not, and then we have to start giving CPR as we discussed with drowning. The same CPR, rescue breaths, and then we warm up the person by putting whatever we have. Then we see if there are any burns. We have to treat them. They are already disinfected, so we just cover them up. And if there are any injuries, then we have to see whether the injuries are bleeding injuries or they are the soft tissue injuries. In case there are bleeding injuries, we have to secure the loss of blood by any means, whatever is available to us. Any cloth, any dupatta, any scarf, any handkerchief, whatever is available, we have to secure that area so that the blood does not keep on flowing and there is blood loss. And then if there are any fractures, we have to immobilize the fractured area and wait for help. Then in case of soft tissue injuries where there is swelling, there is pain, the very common thing that everyone has to remember is a simple word, R-I-C-E, rice, which means rest, R for rest, I for icing, C for compressing the part, and then E for elevating that part over your heart level. This is going to help out the person. And then of course medical help has to arrive. If you have any painkillers, you can give if the person is conscious. Then the other diseases that can be related to the waterborne ones, the ones due to dirty water. In this we have already discussed malaria, we have discussed dengue, we have discussed gastroenteritis in our Urdu videos, and we will be coming up with them in the English videos one by one, so that you can remember the little parts that we have taught right now. This very video has been added to a CPR and recovery position small video which can help you how to do those things once again, although we did it in the previous one also. So please go through it and learn your basics, learn your first aid, save your life and save others' lives too. Thank you. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.